Well, 2022 has officially become the worst year on record for wages, with real wage levels declining 4.5%.
As the decline exacerbates the cost of living crisis for many, one business owner is bucking the trend, deciding to give his workers a 20% pay rise.
Wow.
Fantastic framing owner Avi Efrat joins us now, as well as one of his longtime managers, Amag Sharma. So good to see you both.
Can you guys just sit a little closer together? Given what's happening.
I know. He's your best mate at the moment, isn't he?
Thank you for having us. And the metaphor that I want to transfer as well to other businesses is the more you give, the more you get.
Yeah.
And the way that we did it from 3 angles, because everything is getting more expensive. Your stuff is, hey, Avi, my rent is up by $80, $100. So we felt it even before. So the first thing that we did, we said, okay, we will raise the salary, and we're going to do it as well on reward on bonuses. So if, for example, an employee is going to make the client very, very happy, and the client is going to write a review on the platform, Google or Instagram, tag us, so the employee is going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
So then the employee is very, very happy, and the customer, when comes in, we're very customer focused.
So you're not necessarily doing it on wages. It's coming out of your profit down the track, or in a bonus kind of form.
We did as well the raise and the bonus.
Right.
We did both.
How do you afford that?
So number 2 is about the how do you cut the cost, and a big cut of our cost was the material. Okay, so we are buying it from a supplier over here in Australia. Okay. And when you buy it, so you pay like 40%, to the supplier here. So we start to import. The other way that we planned to afford it is that the more you are making the client happy, the client goes back home and speaks to their family. So you have an employee that is happy, the client is very, very happy. You go in the weekend and you speak, oh, those young guys from Fantastic Framing, so it brings more sales. And apparently, I think Amog, he actually broke the record of the reviews, and it was actually the best month. It was
a funny story, actually. It was like a bet I had with another colleague of mine. So it's like we had a bet over a pair of shoes. And because of that bet, we broke the record of bonuses as well as the store sales. So that was a very good month for us, all over a bet.
And you'd see the customers firsthand, right?
Yes.
You'd see what the pains they're going through. And I would have thought framing might have been one of those things people go, maybe not so much. But you're obviously good at what you do. Is that the kind of thing anecdotally you're seeing out there?
Yeah, exactly. But we are very customer focused. We try to provide the best customer service possible. And we try to get them to leave us reviews as well online, because I feel like that puts it out there for everyone else to see that, hey, look, there is fantastic framing. They do a very great job with picture frames. It's like if you had to go to a restaurant and you're confused between two, you would ask a friend for a recommendation or look at online reviews.
Yeah, I mean, those bonuses are internal tipping almost.
Yes.
What difference has it made to you, obviously, with the cost of living going up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the fortunate ones. I signed a very long-term lease a while ago, so I haven't faced any sort of rent increase. But it definitely contributes heavily toward my payments, and I don't feel a pinch as much when I'm shopping for groceries or paying a phone bill.
Obviously, not everyone can do this, but what is your advice for a small business out there who might be just feeling snowed under and crippled by all the expenses and trying to hold on to stuff and look after stuff?
So I think customer focus is the key thing. Even if you're small, if you're making sure that the customer is very, very happy, it's really, really good. Another thing that we did, which was very successful, we partner with many artists and gallery. We told them, hey, you sell your artwork, but you don't sell a frame at the bottom. Let's partner together. And let's put a frame at the bottom, and we will give you a part of the sale. So we will give you a chunk from the sale of the frame. We will give it to you, and then the artist was with us. So the artist is happy. Again, so we are happy.
You're looking after different tentacles of other businesses.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Really I think, is he your best employee?
Definitely is, but it's like you have so many kids, so you can't say that you love the kid.
I know what but his secret is this. Haydos, I just want you to look into this man's eyes. No, just come in nice and close. All right. I'm just looking into those, Meg. They are.
Wow.
If I look into those eyes, I'm buying frames.
You get lost into those eyes, don't you? Oh, Carlos, leave the poor bloke alone.
Well done. It's a great success story in an environment that's pretty tough, so well done to you guys.
The idea is as well, the more you give, the more you give to your people, the more you get, and the more you give as well to your community, the more you get. So the more you give, the more you get.
Absolutely.
The ones who pivot. Excellent stuff. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And really nice to buy some frames off you.
Yeah, definitely.
Carl, I think will be in your store very soon, won't you,
Don't
Carl?
worry about that.
Down the road here, so yeah.
Anyway, the coalition, of course, is fired up too. I don't know that we should be going there, but anyway.
Forget the coalition.
So
Talking about beat-up merchants, they're beating it up, the coalition.
Yeah, well, they like to get angry, don't they? All right, well, then let's move on. How about wages? That also has a lot of Australians talking. We're suffering the largest wage decline on record, down 4.5% in 2022. Wayne, annual growth is at a 10-year high. It's certainly not enough to keep up with inflation, though. How are people actually able to stay afloat here?
Well, we've seen a significant increase in the minimum wage, but of course inflation's out of control, which is why it's really important for working people that inflation comes under control. So we need to get wages moving up, and the government has been doing that through some of their changes. But also we've got to provide cost of living relief, because some of this inflation is temporary. It's not going to be there in 2 or 3 years' time. So we've got to do both things. We've got to make sure that wage rises are sustainable. We've got to make sure that we do something to help people with cost of living pressures. We've got to get the settings right for the long term, and it's not an easy task.
The RBA has become a real target here, Chris, haven't they? And this is the thing, that it's on them.
It is on them, but it's also on the federal government not to spend money on crap. Because if they're fiscally responsible and show fiscal restraint...
Like upper-end tax concessions, that's right.
No, well, if you show fiscal... Well, what about the hundreds of millions of dollars of grants you've got to all these ridiculous... You've got basically doing up toilet blocks in the back blocks of marginal electorates all around the country. If we're talking about fiscal restraint. If the Labor Party says, you know what, and Jim Chalmers says expect cuts in the May budget, and I said good, because if we see fiscal restraint, that's a lever that the federal government can pull, and not just leave it up to the RBA.
And I think Chris is right about that.
And not just leave it up to the RBA
there's
just to go
agreement
bang,
between
bang,
you
bang.
two.
There is agreement. Fiscal restraint is also part of it, no doubt.
That's amazing. Oh, I don't know what to do. I've got whiplash from
Wish you
earlier.
showed a bit of fiscal restraint when you were Treasurer.
Hey, listen, you know what else has got me fired up this morning?
That was a low blow.
Turning now to the cost of living crisis, Australians suffering the largest wage decline on record. New figures show wages grew by 0.8% in the December quarter. That lifts annual wage growth to 3.3%, a 10-year high. But that's still way below inflation at 7.8%. That means the real value of wages actually declined by 4.5% in 2022. That's the largest fall we've ever seen. And it's below Reserve Bank forecasts, prompting accusations the aggressive rate hike is causing unnecessary economic pain. And...
What's my name again?
oh my goodness, Karl?
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Karl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.